Today I will show you how an indie game, a game made by only one person, is made. There are some steps you should follow if you wanna successfully make your own game. I am going to go through all the things you should consider, so if I were you, I would stay until the end of the video. Firstly, you have to choose a game engine. This is just a program that allows us to create our games. These programs has physics engines, facilities to create animations, audios, inputs, visual effects, etc. A game engine is also used to export our game to several platforms such as mobile phones, PCs, and consoles. There are a lot of game engines you can use. Unity, Godot, Unreal are just a few examples. I'd recommend watching one of my last videos about a comparison between Unity and Godot. The link will be in the description below. Which engine to use absolutely depends on what you want to do. It isn't the same to make a 2D platformer as a 3D game with realistic graphics. If you are starting, I would recommend choosing between Unity or Godot. Unity is probably the most known and has the biggest community, but it may be difficult to understand when you start. So, another option is Godot, whose community is getting bigger and bigger. It's quite new, so that's why the community is a bit small. But this community is getting bigger and bigger. The good thing about Godot is that its interface and programming language is really easy to understand and use. In Godot, you can even make games with zero code by using visual scripting. This is a tool that allows us to program with an intuitive graphical interface. I would recommend using Godot at the beginning because it's really easy. Learn about the logic of a game, how it's made and all that stuff, and then you can pass to Unity. Games happen in places called scenes. In the scenes we put the character, the enemies, or some user interface like a main menu. For example, a scene could be a level, and when we die we change to the game over a scene. You should write down all the scenes you would like to create and their components. If it's a user interface, maybe you should imagine which buttons to put, where, what color, etc. These scenes are made of elements we call assets like the player, enemies, platforms, coins, sounds, or animations. You have to think how the player would be, how to animate it, and how you want the general environment of your game to be. The art of the game is a really important thing while making video games, and how to make it will depend on the type of game you are making. You could try to draw your sprites using some program like Photoshop, but if it turns too complicated, I would recommend downloading a sprite in which you can make pixel art. Pixel art is a great way to start creating art in our game, and it's pretty easy. You can even find free assets on the internet or buy some online. Once you have your engine, scenes, and assets chosen, you can start programming your game. In order to give instructions to the objects, we use scripts. Scripts are just files that contain our code with the orders we want the object to follow. For example, we could make the player move, jump, attack an enemy, or maybe an artificial intelligence for an enemy to follow the player. You have no limit, so you can do anything you want. Every game engine has its own programming language. For example, Godot uses JavaScript, Unity C#, and Unreal C++. Another important thing to create and implement in your game is sound effect, or also called SFX. As usual, you can make either your own or buy some online. What most developers do is to purchase an audio pack that may include user interface and player sounds so that they can completely focus on the programming. When you start, you may not have enough money to buy SFX, but don't worry, there are some simple apps to use like Vodka Seal or LMMS. Music is also important and can be made using these apps as well. As you could see, making a game isn't that easy. You have to know a lot of things, not just to program. You have to know about art, audio, music, marketing, even to sell your game. That's why working with other people may be a really good idea. Games like Minecraft were firstly developed by only one person. Yes, one person. So you can work alone if you want to. But you should consider that you will have to study lots of things that I mentioned before. Whereas, if you work with other people like an artist, you would save a lot of time and headaches trying to make an animation. It would be great if you have a friend or somebody who could help you with the draws. You don't know how much time it takes to make a player and to make it move. So yes, you can work alone perfectly, but if you have the possibility to work with other people, I would take that chance. You will have to cope with errors. Maybe something isn't working as you want to, or you don't know how to do something. Fortunately, Google has all the answers to this. Simply by copying and pasting the error or typing what you don't know how to do, you will find that answer by sure. If not, there are a lot of YouTube tutorials, or you can read the documentation of the program. Another really important way to deal with errors, you can join, for example, Discord servers where you can send which error you are having and somebody will answer and try to help you out. In addition, it's important to write clean code and avoid repetitions and have our project organized in folders so that when we face a problem, we will be able to solve it more quickly. Remember, always keep learning new things. Never stop. Don't give up, everyone can program. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please consider subscribing and to like the video. This is all for today, bye bye.